In this video, I am going to walk you through how to do standing wall twist. For standing wall twist, you are going to need a stretch of wall. I need to apologise. It's a lovely day here in the Peak District and there is sun shining through the window, so it looks very artistic, but the light isn't quite as good as I want it to be. So please bear with me, listen to my cues, and that really is all you need to follow. The kind of verbal cues are more important than what you see. So we are going to start off by standing parallel to the wall. So I'm not touching the wall with my body. I'm about sort of 10 inches away. My right hand side is the one that is closest to the wall as I start. I'm very lucky because I have got floorboards here in my studio, which is going to really help me with the alignment of my feet. So what I'm going to do is, because it's the right side of my body that is parallel to the wall, I'm going to line up my right foot with one of my floorboards, keeping it tracked in a straight line. So I'm setting the floorboard in between my second and my third toe on my right foot, and then the line is going to go all the way through the centre of my foot and through the centre of my ankle. Without shifting my right foot, I'm going to put my left foot directly in front of it. There's a little bit of a gap there in between the two, and I'm setting my left foot in the same type of alignment. So the line goes through the second and third toe on that left foot, through the centre of the foot, through the centre of my left ankle. I have not shifted my right foot as I've done that. So it's like I'm standing on a tightrope with my with my feet slightly pigeon-toed. It's really important for this exercise that you do not adjust your feet and twist the toes out to the side, because it changes the whole alignment of your leg. So we're keeping those feet slightly pigeon-toed, and that slightly pigeon-toed sort of tightrope position serves as a bit of a balancing exercise for the feet. You might feel a bit wobbly here, but don't worry, we're going to use the wall for support in a second. Some of you here are going to be people who hyperextend your knees. So you're going to really push backwards into your knee and buckle back into the knee joints. You're probably going to be aware already if you do that. If that's the case, I want you to soften your knees slightly so that you're not shoving them backwards. But for other people, you might be quite bent in your knees, and I want you to try and straighten your knees. So the cue here is to have straight knees, but make sure that your version of straight knees is not hyperextending knees. When you hyperextend, you'll also likely find you really go into too much of an anterior pelvic tilt and kind of thrusting your rib cage upwards. Soften the knees, and you'll also soften the pelvis slightly as well. We're trying to keep our weight even over both of our feet. So we're not putting our pelvis on that front leg. We're not putting the pelvis on the back leg. We're keeping the pelvis in the middle. And what we're going to do is we're going to twist to face the wall. So my hands are at about shoulder height, but my left hand is sort of directly in front of my left shoulder, and my right hand is further back behind my body. And I'm not leaning my face and my kind of chest into the wall at a diagonal. My head, my shoulders, my hips, my knees, and my toes are all in a straight line, but I'm twisting and rotating. So we're not leaning into the wall here. Your whole body is staying about a forearm's distance away from the wall. We are spreading our fingers nice and wide and flattening our hands against the wall. So there's going to be a little bit of hand function here. And we're going to roll our shoulders back and down behind us to really open up the front of our chest. From here, we're making sure that our toes are relaxed and we're sort of pinning down into our big toe joints. We're keeping the weight even through both of our feet, and we just twist as far as we can comfortably, including our head. I am using my right hand here to push into the wall to help reposition my right shoulder blade behind me a little bit more, and also to help me stand up a little bit taller through my spine. I'm breathing into my nose, expanding the bottom of my rib cage and my belly, and out through my nose as well. I'm relaxing my belly, I'm relaxing my teeth and my jaw. And what we should be feeling here is certainly an element of work through that rear arm. So my right hand, my right arm, and my right shoulder and my back are kind of engaging because of what my hand is doing. And I'm really trying to pull my shoulder blades back and down away from my ears. I'm twisting my neck towards the right hand side as well if that feels comfortable. But the bit of my body that I feel really the most is my right hip. So whilst I'm locked here in this position, my right hip is an extension, so it's being stretched out, but it's also in external rotation as well. So I'm sort of feeling the front of my hip stretch and I'm feeling the outside edges of my hips work to stabilize that position. Keep those feet, make sure that the feet are still on the tightrope and they haven't drifted away. Make sure that you're not dumping too much weight on one leg over the other. The pelvis stays about the middle of your feet. Your whole body is like it's being pulled up on a string and it's rotating around that sort of pivot point. You're not leaning into the wall. So you're just slowly trying to twist yourself into this as much as you can, aiming to feel stuff through that right arm, shoulder, right mid back, but also through the right hip and the right pelvis as well. I'll bring myself back round. I didn't time that, but we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So, same thing goes. I'm using my lines on my wooden floorboards to help set me up here. Line goes through the second and the third toe on that left foot, all the way through the foot and out through the back of the ankle. I put my right foot in front of me with a little bit of a gap between the 2 feet. Once again, setting that right foot up so that it is in between the middle of the second and third toe and through the center of the foot. So I'm on my tightrope. My pelvis is in the middle of both of my feet, not too far back, not too far forward. My knees are straight, but they are not pushed backwards and locked into hyperextension, which I like to do. So I'm going to keep a little bit of a softness there. Without leaning into the wall, I'm going to twist towards the wall, and I haven't shifted my feet in doing so. My right wrist is sort of in front of my right shoulder. My left hand is quite far behind me. I am spreading my fingers wide and grounding my hands against the wall. I'm using my left hand against the wall to push and really try and use that engagement of the hand and the arm to pull my left shoulder blade back and down behind me and also engage the muscles of my mid-back. If it's comfortable to do so with my neck, I'm going to twist my head back towards the left-hand side. I'm breathing into my nose, relaxing my jaw, breathing into the bottom of my rib cage and my belly. And I'm just finding the spot where I can really try and get into that left hip. So I was feeling a little bit there like I was drifting backwards onto my left leg. I brought it forward slightly and then suddenly I felt my left hip twist a bit more in the socket and there's a little bit of a wobble happening here as well. I'm breathing, my neck is long, my spine is tall, I'm not leaning into the wall, I'm pushing my hands against the wall, my head, my shoulders, my hips, my knees and my toes are sort of all in a straight line. I'm not leaning. Engaging that left mid-back, left arm, left shoulder. My left hip is wobbling. I'm pinning in through the big toe joints on both of my feet. And I'm breathing. And just for the sake of balance, I'll hold this for about another 10 seconds. Just trying to slowly twist myself as much as I can, but really trying to make sure here that I'm feeling this in the hip area on that rear leg, not the knees. Or, you want to be feeling something. If you're not feeling anything, you've probably lost the position. Keep grounded through the feet. Body is tall. The body is rotating. It's not leaning. And we'll do 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, my left arm was getting tired there. That was standing wall twist. It's a great exercise for external hip rotation, grounding through the feet, foot function. So sort of very good for like pronation, supination of the feet. Also extremely good if you've got a twisted rib cage because we're giving you that full spinal twist. But there is also some shoulder function and some hand function going on as well. So a whole body exercise.